slow.
Thank you. Participants, no?
That last one showed on that
Must be yours.
was 6:26.
Yeah, it's,
It's not accurate.
see, 6:30 now.
Gotta go by your clock, and that one I did was just reading each other. We'll be to order. Pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Pledge of allegiance is followed by the audience of citizens. Mr. Grillo, do you have anything? Oh, I'm sorry.
We're in a public hearing.
Forgive me, public hearing. Public hearing, the Water Pollution Control Authority has scheduled a public hearing on Wednesday, April 16th, 2025, which is today, 6:30 in the town hall and Omico. To consider on the following items. Sewer rates would be effective July 1st, 2025. At the hearing, all interested persons may speak and submit written communication to the WPCA regarding the sewer rates. Copies of the proposed sewer rates are available at the town hall, join WPCA page, or for review in the office of the town clerk during the whole business hours. Okay, that's the call to the meeting, the call to the hearing, and the rates that are being proposed are these. Should I read every last one?
I can put them in a minute.
Okay. If we had an audience, I would say I would do that,
Sure.
but do you have any concern about the rates, the sewer rates?
Not about the rates. You mentioned the last time we were here that we were paying, I understand they pay the rates, but we pay, you said something about $400,000 or something above and beyond this?
No.
There was some other
Judy already gave me some numbers here. We pay Plainfield
Yeah, that's right.
a maintenance contract,
Yeah,
okay? Annual maintenance contract, $41,727.16. All right,
700 and,
$727.16. That's a maintenance contract just so we can use their system, all right? That is good for 47,500 gallons per day.
yeah,
That's 365 days, because sewer doesn't take a day off. That's for a total of 17,337,500 gallons a year.
Yep.
That's how much we're allowed to send in a year,
yeah,
at a cost of 0.0024068 cost per gallon. That's what each gallon costs, up to 47,500. That price triples when you go past 47,500 on a daily basis, okay? Okay.
but that cost is above and beyond the $650 that the people pay. Or the.
No, that's what the people, that's the fee you pay Plainfield, no matter what.
Oh, I see, okay, so that's separate from the
That-
actual
The
sewage cost.
payment that the town, that the individual users pay at the moment is $450 a year.
Right,
If you were on that system, right at the moment, you would be paying $450 per year because you have a single family home and you have one hookup, if you will.
Yeah.
Okay? So, the question before us is, how much do you want to increase those rates? Now, the fees are these. If you were to, right at the moment, let me just read the whole column, it says, at the moment, it's called an EDU, equivalent dwelling unit, like you have, like I have, we each have.
Yeah.
We would pay $450 per year for that privilege of hooking up to that system.
Yeah.
That is, the total number of people involved is 256. So that money comes in to the town currently at $115,290. That's how much we take in annually from the sewer system.
okay,
What we spend to maintain the sewer system, is $158,750, a difference of $43,460.
yeah, that's what, a while back, you discussed that about making up for that money.
So,
Yeah.
that's what is currently in effect.
Yep.
You lose $460 annually. If the change, we obviously have to make a change. If the change were to increase it by $200 a year, that would make it $650. That would bring us in $166,000. We only pay out $158. That means we would be a surplus of $7,780. All right?
Yep.
That's a $200 increase. The last time we had a meeting, Pete Rabbit was concerned that that was too much of an increase. So she broke it down. If you did a $100 increase, you would be, instead of losing 43,000, you'd be losing 17,000 a year. If you did a $150 increase to $600, you would be losing $5,000 a year. If you did a $175,000 increase, which would make it $625,
Yep.
you would be in the plus by $1,375.
Okay.
Depends on how much you want to push it up, and that's what the purpose of this meeting is. There is no one here to make any suggestions one way or the other.
I know.
It's so, does anyone have any objections if we call the hearing? We take a motion and have the hearing adjourned, because there's no one here to object to anything. Well, your motion,
I'll make a motion that
we
we
adjourn the hearing.
adjourned.
Your motion made second that the hearing is adjourned at 6:36.
Six.
Okay, now we'll go into the regular meeting. All right. We need approval of the minutes of the March 19th meeting. Motion is made, do I hear a second? Motion made and seconded that we approve the minutes of the March 19th meeting, all in favor? Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it, unfinished business. Unfinished business. Okay, I can give you an update on the latest information about the water filtration plant. This is water we're talking about, not sewer, okay? On March 31st, this is all notes from Judy. On March 31st, we had a kickoff meeting with Environmental Protection Agency water, technical assistance. And it was a Zoom meeting, obviously, and there was lots of things were discussed, including the needs of Sterling. Initiated, the site review was gonna be done on May 1st, instead it was done today, April 16th. The name of Erin Latimer is the lead for the project, she'll be the focal point of all the information, questions and answers, and, okay, April 15th, moving on to today. No, excuse me. Today's 15th, today's the 16th, she meant to say the 16th, forgive me. I met with Judy and we met with a fellow named Russell Ford, a lady who, Sayang Wan, that's her name. I'm not making it up, folks, that's what it comes to. And Hannah Sullivan. Those three people came from Jacobs Engineering. Jacobs Engineering is the company that the Environmental Protection Agency has selected to do the preliminary engineering report on this whole project. We met with them and we met with a member of Whitewater, a fellow named Tim Costa. We toured the system, meaning we went through all three well houses and we took them up to the tank at the top of the hill beyond the old tire burning plant. After we had a lengthy discussion about all the possibilities of how to do what. It was suggested the town may want to get an evaluation or appraisal of the water system to determine the value of the water system, should it become possible to sell it. We'd like to have some idea what to charge for it. At the site of the current wells, pumps and chemical building, the potential of removing one of the pump buildings and two of the buildings and creating this water filtration plant on the site of those two buildings was talked about. It would probably be much less expensive than if we have to make an addition to that elevated mound out there. And so that was discussed. Next steps in the process are to meet with Matt Cassidy tomorrow. He is the person from RCAP who has been helping us a lot. Don't ask me what RCAP stands for because I don't know. Regional something. And we're gonna meet with him tomorrow. We will complete the financial application, which is in progress, and it's more involved than the initial eligibility application. This paperwork is strictly something to behold, I can tell you right now. It's something else. Thank goodness for Judy. Potentially contract with Haley Ward, which is the company that had originally done an estimate on what it would cost us to make this project happen. Identify all the permits and approvals needed to build the plant, that would be the Board of Selectmen approval, Board of Finance, Inland Wetland, Planning and Zoning, with building permits and all that sort of thing, these are all things in the process coming up. Also need to identify a location for this plant, and it turns out that the location of the wells right now it's on an elevated area, about 5 foot elevation from the field, the ball field or recreation field there. But the recreation field is in a floodplain. There have been times we've had pictures to show that entire field completely underwater, except for the mound where the well houses are. They're like a little island that sticks out and they're dry as a bone. Anyway, we have to decide what the best place for that is. If we were to go across the street and put this on the Revere site property, that is not in the floodplain, but it would involve a lot more plumbing to do it. So, with all those questions need to be answered and will be answered in the course of time. So that's the update on that. Let's see. New business. Discussion regarding the budget for the Sterling water system. I would recommend, since Judy is much more familiar with that whole process, we table this to a future meeting. I'll need a motion to that effect.
I'll make a motion that we, table, the discussion regarding the budget for the Sterling water system.
Second. Motion made and second, we table that, to a future date. All in favor of that motion? Aye. All opposed? Motion passes. Reduction in sewer rate charge for Sterling Property LLC, Exeter Drive. That is a situation where it may be in your packet, I don't know, I haven't looked through the whole thing, but, that address is the address of the old fire burning plant. The owner of that property is being charged currently for 5 hookups, okay? And there's only one being used. When that plant was being run, they had 5 different hookups to the sewer system. Because they had lots of people that worked there. No one works there now. There's one left. There's only one building left standing, and there's only one hookup to the sewer system. We think we should reduce that from 5 to 1. I think it's only fair to the owner that we do that. But I need a motion to that effect. So moved. Motion made and seconded that we reduce the number of the sewer rate charge for that property from 5 to 1. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Okay. All right. Any other business to come before the Water Pollution Control Authority? Now we're back to the minutes of the issue of the hearing. We have to decide whether to raise the rates for the sewer. And I've given you the numbers. What is your pleasure? Oh, let's have a short discussion of what we should do.
I think we should raise them.
Okay, and how much?
I'm not sure. Do we have,
Okay, the numbers are these. If you raised it $200 a year,
okay,
you would be ahead of the game by $7,780. That is only assuming that nothing changes. Those numbers are all predicated on no overage charges. That is strictly if everything went along with every month, you didn't have to, you never had a single overage charge. That doesn't include for any increases in electricity, anything else. If Plainfield decides for whatever reason to raise the rates, this does not take that into account. So that $7,000, almost $8,000, we would be in the black. May not last very long.
right,
So it's not like that's just a permanent thing, it's gonna be forever. But that's what you'd get a $7,780 increase, you'd be in the black by that much if you raised the $200 a year, from $450 to $650. If you do less than $450, like, right now it's $450, if you went to $100 more, you would still be losing almost $18,000 a year. If you did, $150 increase, you'd still be losing $5,000 a year. $175 increase, you're gonna be in the black by $1,300, And again, that's not a permanent fixture, that is just, that anything, any increase along the line, could eliminate that. We're just losing money right from that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Let me give you an idea of, right at the moment, the sewer fund, if you will, technically owes the general fund $489,000. Almost, well, 489,363.
That's incredible.
And that's because the rates have never been increased on a regular basis. I mean, actually Plainfield their rates have stayed pretty stable. So it's not a matter of them jacking up the rates all the time on it. They really don't. They have to increase them every once in a while. So does everybody. But anyway, just to give you an idea, that's how far in the hole.
Well, what did we jump last time?
No, that was water.
Oh, that was water, okay, that's right, okay.
Water, by the way, the water system owes the town budget $314,000. But we did increase the water rates back in December. Now, we're talking sewer here.
Sure.
The question is, how much do you want to raise it?
And this would be for a year.
That's what that cost is per year. They get billed, half of
Well,
that gets paid.
I mean, if we, whatever increase that we go with, that would be for the next year from.
It would be that way until you raise it again.
Okay.
This
I don't know if that was.
this $450 a year has probably been in effect for 5 years. No, it's been in effect longer than that. It's been in effect since the 2018. It's been there 7 years.
Wow.
And that is the problem. We have never raised it on a regular incremental basis. They paid this bill, half of it in July with their taxes, and half of it in January with their taxes. So you'd be ready to, the maximum would be from $450 to $650. $200 a year. But the other ones are, just a matter of how much you wanna raise it.
I understand Pete's point, but we gotta do something. No question.
If we had done what we should have done as a committee and raised it up, say $50 a year,
Right.
every year, that would have been a whole different story.
Yes.
Exactly.
But that's all water over the dam. We didn't. So, but what that amounts to is that overage that we, if we let this year, we're gonna lose $43,460. Well, you know who pays that?
Everybody else.
Everybody else.
Right.
And I have nothing against the people who use the system, but you're paying for it. All of us are paying for that, because even though we don't use the system, we're still paying for it, right? That's the other side of the coin, you know what I mean? And it's just, the folks that are on that system, for better or worse, never have to worry about a septic tank being cleaned out or failing. It's hooked up to a municipal system. So I mean, there's advantages to that. There are no worries about that. Your system, you're still paying that bill or a portion of that 43,000.
Right.
And if your septic tank had to be cleaned out tomorrow, that's a $600 bill, you're gonna put the bill. So I mean, this is what you're dealing with, that's all. And again, it makes it sound like we have something against these folks, we don't. It's just, there's a system in place to maintain it, you've gotta do something.
$300 now to pump out a tank. It used to be $200
Yeah.
years ago.
But we're all subject to that,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yet we're still paying that
yeah,
$43,000
plus
every
that,
year.
yeah.
Look at people downtown.
How many homes are we talking? 110? 110?
There are 110 connections on the water meter, that's probably about the same number as the. Some of them are businesses, but most of them aren't, most of them are individual homes or duplexes.
Yeah, the duplex.
The way the duplex works, and again, I make it sound like I know all this stuff, I just had a half an hour with Judy giving me all the details of this.
Yeah.
But duplex, that's obviously a home with two families in it, right?
Right.
They could have two separate hookups.
Right.
But more than likely, that plumbing is converted into one hookup.
But there's 2 meters.
It could.
Yeah.
So, it's just that landlord is charged for for 2 bills, even if there's only one hookup,
Right.
because he has 2 individual dwelling units there. But, anyway.
Yeah.
So what's your pleasure, gentlemen?
And what's the max?
650. That's the only thing that's been proposed. If you could go to 800 if you
Yeah, I
want.
know.
It's that's not likely, but I mean, you could.
Yeah.
650 is what is the maximum bid being proposed, a $200 a year increase. That's an increase of 44%. Not that that means anything, but that would render a surplus of $7,780. We would be in the black this, starting July 1st through July 1st next year. You would be, if you get that money, you'd be in the black for that much. Anything less than that, you're gonna still be in the red. Except if you did 175 instead of 200, that would, you'd be in the black $1,375. Which would be a vast improvement of what we have now, quite honestly. But it's but hey, Neil. Nobody wants to fight the bullet, right?
Yeah, right, exactly. Nobody wants to be the bad guy.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be the bad guy.
I'll make a motion that we increase it to the 650.
Motion been made, that we increase the sewer rates
Don't like the idea, but
for $200 to $650 per year.
well,
Do I hear a second to that motion?
Yeah, let's do it.
Motion made and seconded, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? No one opposed to it, unanimous decision, and
Mike, can I just ask a question? On the
Absolutely.
sheet that Judy provided, it's more than just the 650, so it's like motels, barber shops.
Yep.
Are these increasing too, do we need to do this whole sheet, for the proposed amount?
my understanding is no.
Okay.
I think we do this, all she wanted to do was get us an indication of how we wanted to handle the annual fee.
Okay.
So, that's a good question, because I looked at the same list, I wanted to know, we're gonna piece every last one of those? No,
Okay.
we're gonna do the one fee, that's something we probably should deal with in the future. Most of the things on that list, we don't even have,
Right,
but we can deal with it.
Yeah.
But at this point, we're dealing with just a, they call it equivalent dwelling unit, EDU,
Yeah.
and but that's something we certainly should think about to, discuss. Do I hear, any other business to be brought up tonight? Hearing none, all in favor for, do I hear a motion?
Make a motion, that we adjourn.
second.
Motion made second to be adjourned, all in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. What did I tell you? 20 minutes?
That's roughly $17 a month.